I began my so-called career as a painter in grade school when one of the teachers pointed me out as having talent and sent me to the Carnegie Museum of Art Saturday classes for young people. And I was so happy about that, that I was pointed out. And from there, I continued to draw and to draw and to draw. And in those classes, I was told from the very beginning that that's the essential thing for any art in painting, is to draw. And I did that all my life. And I remember having a good friend of mine, and he was an artist, and we would hop on the streetcars in Pittsburgh, and we would draw the people in our sketch pads. And so this drawing is the thing that kept me going. And from there, it opened up a whole world to me. My inspirations for my work comes from mythology, it comes from music, and it comes from poetry. And these are the things that inspired me to do the work I do today. I can't do anything about it. It's just for me to go down to my studio and paint. It's compulsive. I have no choice. It's more than a full day's work. In fact, when I had a full-time job and I still wanted to do my own work, I would come home and I would have my dinner and I would take a short nap. Then I would get up pretending this is a whole new world. And I would open my arms up and say, I'm going to my studio, as though I never did anything else except that. And so I kept that so sacred all my life. Do I see myself continuing to do my painting? Well, I think I better, because I'm just beginning. Like some artist friend of mine who said this thing 40 years ago, he said, I think you've got something, Joe. And the other day when I looked at my work and I was at it, and I said to myself, Joe, I think you've got something, but you got to keep working. I think you've opened the door to something. And it's important to have this transformation. If you continue to do the same work and it becomes boring and there's nothing new coming, it will fold up and die. I would say if you were serious about having your life as an artist or a painter, continue to draw every time you have the chance, because that becomes the language that you use in your painting. Without it, you're what would we call, as people are illiterate, and they have no command of the language. And you must have command of all things in life, and that is through drawing. So to continue that, that's the essence as far as I'm concerned. What influenced and informed my work? Probably indirectly, music. I don't have to mention all the classics, but some of the works of Gustav Mahler had a great effect on me. To delve deep. Get deeper there, Joe, it said. Come on, you can find it. and in this way, you can find some transformation from just a very mundane little sketch to open up to you. There is a legacy that every artist should have in mind. Why go on, if you don't feel like you're contributing, to all of society? Because it would be so selfish to think that. And I've heard of this, where especially some poets, great poets, they destroyed their poetry. They didn't want anyone else to have any part of it, But I don't think a painter should do that. And he should have great respect for his own work. And not that it's a vainglory kind of a thing, but it's the essential thing in art. That there's a future. I would like to thank my sister Patricia for getting me involved in this. At first she said, I think we should have a show, because when she drove home to Pittsburgh with her late husband, George, they said that I should have an exhibit. And George said that's what, his art doesn't belong in the basement. It belongs in a museum. And so I thank my sister Patricia for getting me involved in this and all the work that had to go along with it. I'm glad I did it. And that will be my legacy. And every artist should have that legacy. That's a good word to use. So this is important to me, to continue. I think something will come of it. And I need another 100 years to continue my work.